Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Am I the Jerk? Our first post is by Just Airport. Am I the jerk for telling my son he can't stay with me when I found out why his wife kicked him out? My daughter-in-law is pregnant with my first grandchild. She is suffering from placenta previa. She is on bed rest. It would be dangerous for her to have sex. So my asshole son decided that he should cheat. She found out and kicked him out of the house. He came to stay with us because she was having crazy pregnancy hormones. Every time he called her, they would fight. After a couple of days, we told him to go see if she calmed down. Her mom is staying with them, so we weren't worried about her. My wife called her to check in on her and found out the truth. I'm very upset. When he got home from work, I told him he needed to get out of my house. He wasn't someone I wanted to associate with at the moment, and it would be best if he wasn't near me. My wife tried to say that I was being too hard on him, that I should just give them a chance to work things out. I can't even look at him. I don't want such a stupid boy in my house. My wife and I are still fighting about it, but I am willing to die on this hill. Our next post is by Silver Cattle. Am I the jerk for wearing a bikini even though my sister just had a baby? I, 26F, am on a family vacation, parents, sister Rachel, 30, her son, 1, her husband Adam, 31, and my husband and our daughter, 2. We are by the sea, and yesterday was the first time we'd be going to a beach club. My sister asked me not to wear a bikini or anything revealing because she said both she and Adam are not feeling the best about her postpartum body and she really doesn't want to bring the topic up. I said I was sorry she feels that way, but I wasn't going to spend a day roasting under an umbrella, unable to swim or enjoy myself. I said tons of women would be in bikinis, so I didn't see why I made a difference. We went to the beach, and Rachel was a wreck all day, and refused to come with us to the beach today. My parents are now saying I'm the asshole for not just wearing a cover-up that you can still swim in and that if I keep wearing swimwear it's going to ruin the trip. Am I the jerk? Edit, regarding Adam and the body thing. Yes, you read it right. Rachel didn't elaborate, but I presume Adam has made some kind of comments because several times during and after Rachel's pregnancy, he asked me about my postpartum diet, workout regimen. I was vague about it, but did end up telling him I'd had surgery and various non-invasive treatments, and that diet, exercise was not the deciding factor. He stopped asking. Our next post is by Next Beginning. Am I the jerk for asking my daughter to stop complaining about her life? She chose it. My daughter, Gina, 38, left her husband, Dan, 40, for a younger and more exciting man from her work. They broke up when she got hit with a condo levy she asked him to help pay for since he was living with her. He declined since he wasn't on the deed. He said he didn't mind paying rent, but that maintenance was on the owner. They fought, and that was that. She ended up having to sell the condo. It was too expensive for her alone, but it was something she fought for in the divorce. That was 6 years ago, and she finally burned through the money from the sale. We told her to buy something smaller in a different neighborhood, but she insisted that she needed to live there so her kids' lives wouldn't be disrupted. In the meantime, our son-in-law just remarried to a lovely girl, Madison, 27 or 28. Our grandchildren like her, and she is always very pleasant when we speak. She is pregnant, and the kids are excited for a new sibling. My daughter is back living with us. All she does is work and complain. She has to work too much, she can't meet good men. This new woman stole her life. It never stops. My wife is always commiserating with her about how she is so hard done by. I just keep my mouth shut. Madison came by yesterday to pick up the kids. After she left, my daughter went off again. She was driving a new car they got since her old car would be impractical for a family of 5 to drive around in. The kids ran out to see it and check out all the bells and whistles. Gina didn't even say hello. After Madison and the kids left, she started whining again. Now about how she can't afford a new car. I couldn't help it. I told her that she made her choice to give up the life she had for something different, and that choices have consequences. She literally ran crying to her room, and I felt like crap. Her mom scolded me for being so harsh. I apologized for saying what I said, and I honestly feel bad about it, but I think she needs to stop complaining about her life since she chose it. Our next post is by Quiet Ninja. Am I the jerk for telling my wife that my mother will never love her and to stop trying? I have been married to my wife for 2 years, and the best way to describe my mother is cold. She's not rude or anything, it's just disinterested in my wife. The best way I can explain my mom is that she is tired. She had a really hard life, doesn't have much affection left to give, and she rarely gets close to anyone. It's pure disinterest, and she can't bring herself to care about new people. She's a retired old lady that just wants to sit on the porch, not make small talk with people. I've explained this to my wife before and told my mother's story. We had a little get-together at my mom's house. My mom doesn't like it when people bring food. She works all day to make a spread, and it's like her thing. She just wants to provide for the guests. My wife came from work and she brought food, potato salad. I stop her from bringing it in. The whole night she is just bothering her when she was on the porch, asking her if she wants to go on a shopping trip. When my mom asks for some quiet, she still talks on. When I was walking by, she asked me to take my wife away from her. This made my wife upset, but I did it since I could see Mom was getting close to the end of her rope. We had a talk in the car what that was all about, and she just wants to be loved by her mother-in-law. She is being nice, so she doesn't get why she doesn't like her. I told her my mother will never love her and to just stop. What she is doing is actively making her dislike you and to leave the women alone. She called me a jerk and hasn't spoken to me since. Edit. Was told to include this comment from an info comment. Almost never, most of the time if people join her on the porch, it's very little or small talk or just join her watching the garden. She doesn't care how loud they are in the house or anything like that. She likes watching others have a good time, more of an observer than anything. She asked for quiet with my wife since she was just going on for a while. My sister was out there and told me Mom tried politer ways to ask for her to be quiet and it didn't work. Also, the direct request didn't work with my wife and she kept going. In the comments below, forwards ad writes, "She's a retired old lady that just wants to sit on the porch, not make small talk with people." Honestly, your mom sounds like my life goals. Not the jerk. It sucks for your wife, but let people be. Not everyone will be liked by everyone, and your wife should be old and mature enough to understand that. Our next post is by Wife My Job. Am I the jerk for telling my wife that I would be perfectly capable of doing what she does? I, 30M, have a wife, 30F, and a daughter, 7F. I work in finance, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom as I earn sufficient for the both of us. My wife is a great stay-at-home mom and takes great care of our house. I was lucky to buy a home as I earn well in a medium cost of living city. I love my wife, but she finds it humorous to say that I am incapable of doing household tasks. We had agreed that she would do them when we decided she would stay at home, but I do stuff occasionally when we are both home if she asks me to. But then if I say load the dishwasher for her, she will claim I did it wrong. Just because I do it different than she does, it still cleans well. The other day we were eating, and she told me about her day and how she went grocery shopping and optimized the cost by buying specific items at specific stores and accounting for the cost of traveling to each store, and she made an offhanded remark that I would never be able to do that, and said it in a "what would you ever do without me" kind of way. I replied back saying that of course I could do it. I handle complex decisions and calculations at my work as I work in finance, and that I have a master's degree, and what I do involves more intellect than household operations. Even though I acknowledged and appreciate what she does, I would be capable if the roles were reversed. She got angry and seemed to think I was calling her stupid when I wasn't, and then cried, and now I feel like an asshole. She said she was a very good student, and had she graduated, she would be in my position as well. My wife and I met in college, but she was an international student studying physics and computer science, and she had issues with her loan from her home country and could not afford to complete it, and we got married then so she could stay. Initially, she wanted to complete it later after finding the funds, but she agreed to be a stay-at-home mom when I got a good job, and I appreciate that a lot as we were able to have a kid early on, even while I was both completing my master's and working full-time. Flonique writes in the comments below, "You are the jerk. Your wife is a very smart woman who probably prepared her whole life for a challenging technical career. And now, for better or worse, she is a stay-at-home mom with no degree or paying job. It's clear that you are proud of your intellectual capabilities and the complex tasks you tackle at work. It is part of your identity and your ego. Your wife has none of that, even though that's what she wanted. What little source of pride she has, her household tasks, her own spouse diminishes and minimizes. How would that make you feel if you were in her shoes? Would you consider supporting your wife to finish her degree?" Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.